So hey, what's up everyone, and welcome back to another video. And this week we're going to take last week's idea that we started and we're going to develop it a little further. So we're going to create a sun and a planet that revolves around it. So let's get into it. Go ahead and subscribe for more great videos like this one. Okay, so let's get started. So what we want to do first is we have this big blue background, which looks cool when you run the game, but before it doesn't look so good. So we're going to change that. So we're going to move our background or our atmosphere up one in the z-axis to move it back a little bit. And then we want to change the metallic and smoothness. Put them both to 0, and yeah, it's going to be really bright blue, so we're going to change the color. Let's put in 30s there. Yeah, make it a nice gray looking spacey kind of background. And now the light is gone. So now what we're going to do is we can move it around, yeah, but we want to put a light behind it again. So let's put a point light there. We're going to parent it or make it a child object. Yeah, let's just change its name. Yeah, a light. Let's just add the word light. There we go. Okay, so now we want to change the range and the intensity. So let's just scale it down because we want to make a sun be the big one in the middle. Our planets are going to be like smaller. So let's change the light. Yeah, 1.5. Yeah, there we go. I think that looks kind of cool. And you guys, once again, you can make it any color you want. I like the blue, so I'm going to go for the blue again. Alright, so now we should be able to move it and our light moves with it. Awesome. Okay, so let's hit play and then let's just see what it looks like. Everything, yeah, that's perfect. It's still rotating, it's still doing what it needs to, 100%. Okay, so now we just want to change the atmosphere name. Let's make it space because we have planet atmosphere light. So to not get confused, let's change that. Let's just make our planet even smaller and let's adjust our lighting. Let's make it 1.15 and our intensity can be a bit higher. Let's make it 100. Yeah, there we go. That looks nice. See how it runs. Okay, perfect. Yeah, because we want our sun big in the middle. So I think this would be a really nice size. Okay, so let's create our sun. So first thing, we're just going to copy our planet. We're going to move it over to the side and then just press Command D or Control D. And then let's center it and then change the name to sun. So that we know it's our sun. Then let's change the size to a half. Yeah, I think that's good. That's a good size for the sun. And now we're going to change the light. So let's call it sunlight. And now we're just going to change the range again. Let's make it 10, 10. And then we want a yellowy kind of color, but not completely yellow. So make it, yeah. Sorry, I like full numbers. Yeah, I think that looks cool. Alright, so we can disable our mountains and our planet inner because a sun doesn't have those kind of things. So then let's just copy our planet material and name it sun and drag it onto our sun, and then let's change the coloring. We also want like a yellowish kind of color, not completely yellow, maybe like orangey, lighter. Yeah, there we go. I think that looks cooler. Yeah, let's change the smoothness up so we get like a really bright center. We can change the orangey side. Let's make it like 0.9 maybe. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. A little bit. There we go. That's nice. Let's play around. Yeah, that looks cool. Because we're gonna have, Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. All right. So now it looks like a sun, but yeah, let's just change that to sun. Okay. So it looks like a sun. It looks quite nice, but it needs something to make it more like a sun. So let's add a particle effect. Particle system. That's the word I was looking for. So let's center that again. And we're going to change the scale. Yeah, that should be good. And the rotation. So now you can't see the particles, but it's because they're going that way, like into the screen. So we need to change the shape to a circle. And let's change the duration to 1. Our speed we need to decrease because we don't want it to go all over the place. And our lifetime, well, that we can make 30 if you really want it to look like that. But we're going to keep it at around 5. That looks kind of cool. So the renderer, we want to change that to stretched because then it gives us that sparkly effect. Emission, we can change that. You guys can do that to your heart's content depending on how powerful your computer is, because the fans will start to make a noise when you do that. And as we can see, we don't have preheating on or pre-warm, so our particles start. We don't want that. We want them to have started already when we press play. So there we go. We just tick the pre-warm and there we are. Cool. And now our planet rotates and our sun rotates. Okay, so now we're just going to name our particle system sunrays. And there we go. Let's check it out after we've parented it. And there we are. Okay, so let's hit play and let's see what it looks like. Okay, our sun rays are coming out a bit too far. So we just need to change that. So let's go into our sun rays, our particle system. Let's just make them a little bit smaller. Yeah, I think half the size should be good. Yeah, and then let's hit play again. And boom, that's exactly what we want it to look like. Yeah, I think that looks really cool as a sun. Awesome. Really happy with that. Okay, so now let's get into some scripting. So we want to make our planet rotate around the sun. So let's create a new script. We're going to call it planet rotation around sun, so that we know exactly what the script does. Let's double click and open it. All right. So let's remove everything. Just press enter and then let's get started. So first things first, we want to put in an update method because we want to transform our object around something. So now we need to check the vector 3's. So we know that the vector 3 that it needs to be pointing towards will be the center. The sun doesn't move. So we can just put in vector 3, 0. Then we're going to put in another vector 3. We want to say forward because we want to make it move in a straight direction. So you can say forward or backward or down, I think it is. But in this case, we'll put forward in. And then our time.delta time, so that we don't get a jittery movement. And then we times it by our speed. Now we don't have a variable for speed, but let's create one quickly. So private speed, float speed, that's what I meant. And a start function. So here we're going to define what our speed is for our planet. So let's just put in 10, a float of 10. And there we go, there we can see that it takes it. So let's just save that. I'll just move that out of the way. And now we need to put it onto our planet. So just take the script, plonk it onto the planet, and there it is. So now if we hit play, our planet should move. Yeah, let's just move that a little bit closer. And there we go. There our planet is actually rotating around our sun. Yeah, that's exactly what it's meant to be. Awesome. Okay, but that doesn't limit us to just one planet. we can make more than one planet if we really want to. So, let's make some more planets. So we're just going to go there, copy and paste, and copy and paste, and let's just move them around. There we go. Move you there, a little bit up, and then let's hit play. And voila, there we have many planets. So this means you can copy and paste as many planets as you want. They'll all rotate around the sun, and they rotate around their own axis as well. Okay, so we created a variable with the name speed. So that means we can change this. So let's create a randomized float that will pick a number between 1 and 3, and that number will be times by our speed, or by 10 to give us our speed. That means that every single object that has this script will have a minimum speed of 10, because 10 times 1 is 10, or 30 as a maximum. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So we just times that out, and our speed variable will be decided by the game. We don't specify that at all. We just know it's between 10, 20, or 30, and there we can see it in action. So the one planet all the way to the left clearly has the 30 because it's moving really quickly. Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to create our circles that are going to display where our planets have moved. So let's create a new folder called marker. We're going to create a sprite. There we are. A sprite of a circle as well. Just press enter. And then let's move our circle, just drag it into the game view, and it will create a sprite for us. And then we'll call this marker. And we're going to drag that back down to create a prefab of it. And then we can delete our marker at the top. And then here we can open the prefab. So we want to center that. And let's scale it down a little bit. We want it to be nice and small. Okay. Now we want to create a material for our marker. So let's right click, folder, and call it material, materials with an, yeah, and then a material called marker. And then we want to go into, we're going to go into our marker, and then press F to find it quickly. Then the game will find it, or Unity will find your object for you, and just drag it onto your marker. And now we want to edit our scripting. So we want to get a reference to that marker. So we're going to say public game object marker. So we'll let Unity know what game object we want to use as the marker. So in our start function, we get the component so that we can use it. All right, so now we need to create a new method. Private void place marker. So now we're going to place a marker every few seconds. So firstly, we're going to call it variable place marker is equal to, now we want to instantiate it, which means create one of these markers. We're going to use our object marker, and then we want to tell it the position of the planet that we're currently using, and then quaternion identity. Don't worry, it's just a fancy name for use object the way it looks in the prefab. That's a simple explanation of how that works. Okay, so now we want to call that function every now and then. So we're going to say invoke repeating, place marker. We want it to start immediately when the game starts. and then every 7 seconds it needs to place a new one. Oh wait, that needs to be shorter. Sorry, it's half a second because every 7 seconds is quite long. Okay, so now we need to drag our script onto our planet, and then we need to give it the marker as the object that we want to use. Okay, so now we just drag our planet back onto planet 1 that we have saved as a prefab and overwrite it. And then let's press play, and there we go. But now we kind of don't want the dots to stay there forever, because otherwise it's just many dots that are going to be on the screen. So we kind of want to give it a trailing effect. So let's create a new script called destroy marker, and double click it. Okay, so here we're just going to use the start function. We don't need anything else. And it's really simple, just type in destroy, and we want to destroy this object, which is going to be onto the script will be on the marker, and we want to destroy it after 7 seconds after it's been created. So then let's drag our destroy marker onto our marker. So open the prefab. Yeah, destroy marker, we're going to drag that onto our marker, and there is our script. Yep, sorry, I already did that. There it is. Dragged it on, and now we can hit play, and there we go. It should destroy the objects after 7 seconds, and there we go. Now it looks like it's trailing our planet's movement. And so we reached the end of another tutorial. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope everybody enjoyed this, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.